Welcome to I Hate James Dobson, a podcast that is too lazy to start a cult. That seems like a lot of work.
I don't know. I'd do it.
You'd be good at it.
I know.
I'll be your first member.
You already are. And you don't.
Welcome to I Hate James Dobson. My name is Jake. I'm a former evangelical turned queer sex therapist. And I need to take off my rings because otherwise they'll be clinking. And today, I'm joined by the young at heart yearner who's yoked with this yapper, someone who is never yabbish and always yummy. Yea, my year co-host, whose yenning for the Yuletide will be fulfilled just yonder, Brooke. Yippee!
Jake! Incredible! That was such a good one.
I like that one a lot. Brooke, how are you?
I'm so great. Happy first recording post Dob death.
Woo, woo, woo! Dob day plus 7. It's been a week today.
Oh, wow. And on the 7th day, we dobbed.
Amen. And today, we also have a very extra special guest. The peanut butter to my jelly, the person who somehow stands my midnight 3 a.m. Dobson rants, who makes the tastiest drinks, my partner and my best friend, boyfriend!
Hi, it's boyfriend.
Hi, boyfriend. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so I thought the 7th day was we drink.
We do that every day.
Okay, well.
Yeah. I want everyone out there to know that boyfriend made some mezcal.
It's a mezcal mule, but it's my own take on it, so it's a little bit different. It's not just citrusy ginger and mezcal. It's also got orange in it a little bit. It's balanced out with some simple and some lime. It's nice.
It's really nice. And so I won't be whiskey drinking tonight. I'll be mezcal drinking.
Which is a whole different vibe.
It's a very different vibe. I don't know where this will go, everybody.
For those who don't know, mezcal is tequila.
But smoky.
It is a little smoky, yeah.
Boyfriend, I have a very important question to ask you up top.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you hate James Dobson?
No pressure.
I hate James Dobson because of the influence he's held over too many, including my own family.
Mm.
Even though I wasn't pushed into really tight religious trauma, I hear the stories you said, and I remember one point looking at you and going, I think I know this guy, and I hated that.
When I was doing research for the creationism episode, you had mentioned that you'd read or you'd heard about the Genesis flood, like the book.
I was volunteering at a church. We were required to do senior hours, and I did my volunteer work through a church because it was the easiest, and it's so weird because when you were mentioning it, I was like, this sounds familiar to me.
It's so wild to me. It's such a deep cut.
And I was able to talk to you about it.
A thesis of the show is you don't have to have been religiously traumatized to be traumatized by James Dobson.
Don't I know it? Oh, God.
You deserve like a badge or something, a pin.
Yeah, I do.
Maybe a
Good thing
medal.
we have them in our merch shop.
We do. And speaking of merch, we now have 3 new designs on sale, ready for you. We have much requested, long-awaited Wrong Brenda.
Wrong, Brenda.
Wrong, Brenda.
With a very cool, to me, like 90s kind of aesthetic. Lots of bright colors, lots of neon.
It's so cute. And I want everyone to know that Jake texted it to me 950,000 times. And the first one was perfect. And said, how about this one? How about this one? How about this one? And
That's what I was doing at home.
Yeah, I was like, that's
fine.
okay, but I like the first one. That one's good. I like the first one.
Yep. Emotional support boyfriend was doing the same thing.
Yes.
Oh, yes, this looks nice. I really like this one. Okay. And there's like 12 more slides. I went, oh, no.
You want to make sure you get it right.
At
Anyway.
3 a.m.?
Yes. That's when I do my best panic attacks. We have Wrong Brenda. We have I Survived James Dobson. Because all of you listening right now, you've outlived the fucker and you deserve to wear that with pride. The last design is a very niche thing for me. I have no idea if anyone else will like this, but I make this merch for me. And it says, I was labeled a strong-willed child, but all I got was trauma. But that isn't a physical object, so I got this lousy shirt too. We'll change it for cups and mugs and shirts and stuff. It'll be great. It'll be a great time. New items available in a merch store as of right now. Go check it out. Go buy some stuff. Treat yourself. Help us buy snacks.
I love
Yeah,
snacks.
our snacks are getting good.
A snack goes well with
We got
any
a
drink.
pickle.
I had one of your pickles, Brooke.
Yeah.
Thank you for your pickle.
We're wearing our James Dobson hats right now.
We are. We look very cute.
We do look
matching.
really cute. We're going to take a picture.
Let's imagine I'm wearing one too.
Yeah, you need one.
Hey everyone, editing Jake here, popping in real quick to say we are now able to ship merch all across North America. Heck yeah. And now it is time for Brooke's Books, the part of the show where Brooke comes out to talk about books.
Listen, everybody, this isn't going to be exciting tonight because I am in the middle of really long books right now. I am reading Middlemarch by George Eliot.
Brooke has been reading this since March.
Oh my God.
My mom got so mad at me the other day. I asked her if she wanted to have a little cooking club where we pick out recipes and then she cooks in her state and I cook in my state. We send pictures.
Hmm.
And she wrote, like the book club. And I was like, damn, oh no. Anyway, Middlemarch by George Eliot. Doing great. It's about a town called Middlemarch. Infinite Jest.
How is that going? You talked about starting
Actually,
last time.
I love Infinite Jest.
Good.
I've read the first 300 pages several times. This time I'm going to make it the whole way through 1,079 pages. And my friend had this funny idea to get a t-shirt at the end that says, I read Infinite Jest and all I got was better than you. But like, we think it's funny because it's so stupid. But I guess my friend told some other people and they got very offended. And we're like, that's really pretentious. And we're like, I know.
That's the
why
point.
It's funny.
Have you gotten to the tennis parts yet?
Yeah, the whole thing is tennis parts.
I know nothing about it other than you mentioned tennis last time.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of tennis and drug abuse and
Well, that sounds like a good Saturday.
yeah, and like technology that David Foster Wallace was inventing in 1996 that actually is here now and is really funny to think about, like how we were thinking about it back then.
Mhm.
I love this book. It's going to be great. I'm going to be reading it for a long time. And then book club has their next book chosen, which I haven't started yet. So if it's a turd, don't listen to me. But I think it'll be good. It's called The Patriot by a Russian author named
Sana Krasikov.
And
Oh my God, I love
so
them.
that seems like it'll be great. That's it for Brooke's books today. Sorry, it's not so exciting.
Amazing.
Oh, but we just talked about, is this a good time for me to say this?
Mm-hmm.
One book I keep hearing that I should read from everybody everywhere in my life is called Gideon the Ninth. And so that is going on the list after I finish these Enormo books.
And big shout out to our Gideon the Ninth fans. I learned recently that we've been selling a decent amount of Kevin mugs because of Gideon the Ninth, and I think that is delightful. And I told Kevin, and he said, my heart's desire is to be a meme. So congratulations. You're making dreams come true, all you listeners.
Did you say memed?
Yes.
A
I really
meme.
thought you said needed. And I was like, Kevin, my God.
That's like vulnerable and sweet.
I love Kevin so much.
This has been Brooke's Books. Tune in next time to hear Brooke say...
Those are the books I'm reading. What do you want me to say there?
I don't know. Truly anything.
Everybody read books. Don't forget the magic of book reading. Is that what you want me to say?
Perfect.
Every book's a journey. Books can take you anywhere.
Take
A
a
book is a
look.
bridge to your
It's in
imagination.
a book.
Copyright strike.
Wait, I want to say one thing before we jump into tonight's thing.
Please.
Which is, I just want to say that thank you to everybody who commented and said nice things about our Dobby Died post.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to say that I was on TikTok that day and really saw so many people's celebrations and moving posts and reflections and all this stuff. And it was like, I'm just glad that even though I hate it here so much, I'm glad to have been brought into this because it was very moving to see all of that and to see that whole community out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember looking at my TikTok and I was hugging you on the couch going, look at this, they're talking about you.
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about this.
It is really, really special to me that a number of people said, I heard the news and I came right to you to hear about it. Like, not in like a self-important way, but
Right.
like a big part of the reason why I started this show is that I don't think a lot of people understand the evangelical experience, and it can feel really isolating. And so to have people have even a semblance of community because of this show is a huge honor. So thank you all.
Yeah, I, am a little bit still of an outsider, but I was really like moved. I choked up a couple of times, honestly, seeing all the sort of adults labeling themselves as like strong-willed child that was celebrating, and it was really lovely.
Yeah. And so for today, I thought long and hard about what I wanted our first episode post-Dead Dob Day to be. I literally have like 5 half-started scripts. I've read so many books between then and now. It's not good for me, I'm sure. But I think I found the right one. I think this is the right way to honor his legacy. This episode is a Dobson classic. We're going to be talking about a book he wrote. We're also going to be watching clips of him speak.
Oh my God.
There's
favorite.
so much that we could talk about with this book, and we likely will come back to it at some point in the future. There's so much hashtag content at hand here. Basically, today's going to be a greatest hits episode, and I'm very excited to share it with you all. Coming at you straight from the 90s, girls, gays, theys, and the occasional straight guy ally, buckle up, because today we're going to be talking about...
Here it comes. This is a big, exciting part, boyfriend.
Oh, we got a whole bag.
Life on the Edge.
You wanted me here for this?
Unfortunately has no content about edging.
Why'd you bring me?
Life on the Edge of what? How many books did he write?
That is a very
How
complicated
much
question.
more of this do we have?
At least 3 years.
Oh my god.
Life on the Edge, both the book and the video series, are Dobson's attempt to help guide teenagers through the most tumultuous periods of life. Quote, if you're between 16 and 26 years of age, this book is written specifically for you. Others are welcome to read it along with us, of course, but the ideas are aimed directly at those moving through what we call the critical decade. I've only just aged out of this. I am 27 at time of recording.
Same.
Oh, I missed it.
Which is very funny to me to think that when we started this show, I was at the target audience for this book.
27 is the edge of that?
26 is the upper
26. Okay. It's the edge.
Do you have Lady Gaga just on a
Yes.
loop in your head? So
No
do I.
joke. I just didn't tell people. I have ADHD. So you're going to hear me singing in this microphone. You're going to hear me saying things that references that no one gets. To the point where my friends call them, insert my name, isms. So we're going to call them what? Boyfriendisms?
Boyfriendisms and the tism.
Oh, that's
The perfect
cute. Your
power
ship
couple.
name is Boytism.
Oh my.
We're gonna start broad, but I want to kind of craft a narrative. So one, this book is generally super boring. The book and the accompanying video series were written for teenagers, and it's a smattering of life advice. It's pretty boring and generic. Like, to find a job, find something that you like, something that you're able to do, something you have the qualifications to do, something you can make a living wage from, something you find fulfilling, and it's in accordance with God's will.
Oh, yeah.
Splendorific.
Like, sure. Like, generally, that's, like, non-objectionable, and teenagers need help thinking about the rest of their life because we make 18-year-olds decide what path they're going to be on forever.
That's why I have that awesome creative writing degree.
Yeah!
Yeah.
That was the only class in high school I failed was creative writing.
Failed.
It's okay. I had also learned the most in that
I was going
class,
to say,
to be
it's
honest.
the class that you liked the most.
I
from my
loved that
understanding.
class. I am glad to have been a part of it.
Throughout this book, we also get some Dobson lore. Like, his dad went to school to be an artist.
How did he turn out that way?
Failed artist to fascist pipeline remains undefeated.
I want to see some Papa Dobson art.
So he did a little bit of art, and then, because the mysterious hand of God, he ended up becoming a preacher like God intended him to be. Also, Dobson was allegedly on the TV show Let's Make a Deal in 1967.
Yeah.
He's mentioned this in a couple different books. This is the first time we're talking about it, because I cannot find it. And readers, anyone out there, if you can find a clip of Dobson from Let's Make a Deal in 1967, please, please, please let me know. He was holding up a sign that said, "My wife is for the birds," and his wife was covered in, like, fake birds.
Birds aren't real. They're all fake.
Wait, do you know? We have to be able to find this.
It's hard to find all of the Let's Make a Deal, the Monty Hall game show.
Have you looked since he's died?
I have not.
Maybe someone unveiled it. Also, figure out what station it was on, and maybe we can go there with our pleas.
We will check back in with you if/when we find it. I'm
We
determined.
must find this.
Other Dobson lore, he was friends with a famous basketball player named Pete Maravich. Do you know Pete Maravich?
Sounds familiar. I'm sure I've been talked at about sports of this nature. That name sounds very familiar to me.
Famous basketball player, retired relatively early-ish. Dobson was with him when he died. And low-key, Dobson killed him.
What?
Dobson became friends with this guy because after retirement, he became a born-again Christian. And Dobson is nothing if not a clout chaser. And so Dobson invited him to a game of pickup basketball. After that game of pickup basketball, the guy had a heart attack and died on
my
the court,
God.
like that. And Dobson says at least he held him in his arms as he died. And Dobson, again, is nothing if not a clout chaser, capitalized on his death.
Shocker.
To the media, was like, I want you to know the real message of his life was Jesus. And maybe Pete Maravich would have said that. But you know what? Pete Maravich isn't here to tell us if that's what he would have wanted or not. We just have Dobson's word to go by. So
That sucks. Oh my
I
god.
like how Dobson can take, like, this dude died at my house Wait, not
Turn
his
into
house.
a freaking medal for himself.
Yeah. Wait, at his house? He has a basketball court at his house?
I don't think it was at a house. I think it was like a local
I don't know why I got that in my head. Okay.
It was at a Y.
It very well could have been. He's talked about other times he's been to a Y in some pretty racist ways.
Oof.
Yucky.
Which
Wait, really quickly, did you know that the new Village people are trying to deny that YMCA is a gay song?
I did know that.
What?
Yeah, they're very pro-Trump.
Yeah, he plays it at his rallies and stuff. I'm like, this is about young men cruising and
At the health club.
being who they want to be.
Yeah. I can't
Trump knows that it's a gay song. Trump has talked about it being a gay song. It's very funny to me. The video series came first, and then the book followed. This is important for a couple of reasons. One, as is often discussed here, Dobson likes to include Q&As in his book with completely made-up questions that he gets to answer from his own admission. Here is such a question. Quote, I have always been a good student, and I want to go to either law school or medical school. That means I could be in my mid or late 20s by the time I graduate and can get on with life. But I also want to be a wife and mother and stay home with my children. I can't figure out how to reach both of these goals. How can I be a professional and a mother too? Dobson's answer, this is a shortened version of it, but is, since you don't yet have plans to be married, I'd recommend that you press on with your academic goals. Once your training is complete, you'll still have all of the options available to you. Which isn't
That's
horrible.
the worst advice.
It's not horrible advice. It's fine. Like, pursue your goals.
It always goes off the rails at some point.
I'm sure it is. I don't trust this still.
This is where we're going to watch our first clip.
Oh my gosh.
As a female, I have decided that I want to either go to law school or med school, and I could be in my late 20s by the time I graduate from grad school. But I also want to be a mother and stay home with my children and be a good wife. But I can't figure out in my life how I'm going to do that and become a professional too.
All I can suggest to you is that you go ahead with your plans if you feel like God is in it, if He's leading you.
That means that's like a real question that someone asked him. Which means most of the time I think he makes these questions up, and he does very clearly make them up throughout the book. For the first time, it was a real question, and I just think that that's bananas. Also, feminist icon. We have a second clip of him being a feminist icon.
Oh, great.
And the Lord will lead you, and there may be a way that you can use your influence. I tell you, we need women lawyers. We really do, who understand the family and understand these issues. I wish there were 20,000 of them out there that we could call on.
That looked like it was hard for him to say.
I wish there was 18 to 20 of them.
Yeah, 18 to 20. Oh, 18 to 20.
We really do. We need
Did
women
he say
lawyers.
Because it really sounded like he was trying to cover that up when he said
Why
it.
do we... What? They
Feminist icon.
really understand the family.
Part 2 of the script, peak Dobson nonsense. It's a lot of the same boring shit that we've talked about before. A lot of my critiques are things that we've talked about before. Like, he has a whole video called Emotions. Can you trust them? His answer is no. My answer is like, yes, but it's not the sole determining factor. It's more complicated. What's the post? Everyone says things so confidently, like IDK man, it depends. That's generally my approach to this. Here's a quote from this. Our society is telling us we're all victims of some kind of abuse. Hispanics, African Americans, Asians, Jews, Native Americans, women, children, and now even white males are supposed to feel discriminated against.
First Nations.
I'm just saying what's written in the book.
Oh my god.
Even white males.
Yes.
Wait, he wrote that?
Yes. And the quote continues, yes, discrimination and racism are all still serious problems in this culture, but it doesn't help to make us feel like we're all being had in one way or another. The net effect of that mindset is to fracture us into competing special interest groups instead of binding us together in unity. Resist that temptation to see yourself as a victim. Fight it with all our might. It is one of Satan's most powerful weapons against you, and it is a lie. Because very clearly, there's no reason for instance, First Nations people to feel victimized in our current culture. Nothing bad has ever happened to them after, he wrote this in 1990? There's also a lot of gender essentialist stuff that's bad. Like, he says men have midlife crises, women have menopause. Which I found to be very funny.
Oh my god.
Oh, I want to tell you all something about menopause.
Please.
And don't cut it out.
Your menopause?
No. Don't cut this part out. Menopause is important to learn about. Everyone Google menopause, okay? But here's the thing. I saw a video the other day that said, no, I don't know how true any of this is, because when I say a video, I mean a TikTok, that said there are only certain mammals that go through menopause.
Mm-hmm.
And humans are one of them, but there's only, like, not every mammal does. And all the mammals that go through menopause are matriarchal, which means that the belief is that humans were meant to be the same way until men came around.
A lot of older cultures show women as the place of worship, the thing that represents the head of culture. It is the miracle that is women in a lot of cultures, like predating Christianity.
Yes.
Easily.
Yeah.
A fact that's hard to dispute for anyone that's just dumb enough to try.
A big theme of talking about fascism generally, Christian nationalism, James Dobson, is how they try to extend their current beliefs backwards in time to say this is how it's always been and how that is just not true. Capitalism and white supremacy and, yes, patriarchy are just so imposed top down onto things. If it was so natural, you wouldn't need all these threats of violence to maintain it.
Right. I'd also like to encourage everyone to start throwing your friends' menopause parties when they go through menopause.
I'm sorry, what?
Menopause parties.
We had a party for my friend that we called the Cronening, where we made her officially a crone. We took her down to the beach and put like a floral wreath on her head, and it was all meant to be a joke, but it ended up being very powerful. And then we ended up passing out brochures about menopause.
I just imagine Moira Rose showing up.
The Cronening.
The Cronening.
Yeah. But we gave menopause brochures to all these like teenage kids on the beach.
Oh, that's incredible.
And they were like, "What's menopause?" And I was like, "Ask your mom."
That's why you need the pamphlets.
Here's the pamphlets, but it was incredible. So menopause parties, talk about it, live it, love it.
Bring wine.
Bring wine.
A quote, "There are many opportunities for a girl to show respect to a guy, too. She can serve him coffee or iron his shirt or fix her hair how he likes. For some reason, people who are into political correctness become very angry over this issue of how the sexes relate to each other. They would have them compete with each other in an atmosphere of one-upsmanship."
Jake, how would you like me to fix my hair for the podcast going forward?
I get flashbacks to the Duggars episode where they're just like, our father likes us to have long hair and therefore we have long hair.
Brooke, you should just put it under a hat. The I Hate James Dobson hat. You know, that's the way I see you.
Yeah, I don't care what your hair. We rep the merch.
You know, it's so funny you say that, and all I can think of is that other, I can't remember what, you'll know it. I know as soon as I say it. There's like this quote, it's like, "You may also fascinate a lady by giving her a piece of cheese."
Yes.
And like, it's very that.
It's very that. Like, again, the issue...
That one's true, at least.
You're right. The issue here isn't like trying to respect or support or woo your significant other. The issue isn't a woman ironing her husband's shirt. The issue is when it's the expectation with no room for re-evaluation or difference. A man can iron a woman's shirt, for instance, right? That's never included in the Dobson lore. But again, that's just pretty standard Dobson fare at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here. I'm sure we'll be here again at some point.
Boyfriend, have you ever ironed one of Jake's shirts?
He taught me how to iron, actually. I didn't know how to iron anything until I met him. So because I'm still so new at it, I don't think he'd trust me to iron stuff.
I'll iron my own shirts. Thank you very much. You do plenty of wonderful things for me.
I'll cook.
You cook. And you cook very well.
Mm-hmm. I'll cook. I do things when he asks, like a good person.
You got my you went downstairs and got my sandwich.
I did. I am a service boyfriend, emotional support boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, and I am. What would I be? Your dom-in-law.
Dom-in-law.
Dom-in-law. The mommy dommy-in-law.
That's good.
Oh my god. Put that on a shirt. Don't do that.
Back to being serious.
There's a shimmer of creationism in this book, and this is the quote that I read in our creationism episode with Kevin. Quote, "Nothing in the physical world moves from disorder to order without intelligence and energy being applied to it. That is what is wrong with the theory of evolution, which is the only belief system asserting that things move upward towards perfection on their own without the benefit of intelligent design. It contradicts everything we can see and observe." And rest assured, I'm not pulling this out of context. There is no context. He just kind of is talking about one thing. Oh, by the way, creationism. And then back to his original point.
Sure.
Editing Jake here. The context is that Dobson is saying that you need to put effort into relationships to make them survive. If you just let them be, they will deteriorate. Quote, "My point is that this law of disintegration also relates to marriage. Human relationships are governed by the same principle. The natural tendency is for people to drift away from each other. He's talking about caring for relationships and also creationism.
One video is called When God Doesn't Make Sense, and it's just a sermon about accepting the seeming randomness and heartache of life, which is fine, and I don't think Dobson's advice there is bad, but he's not doing psychology. There is no way really to quantify, like, accept the randomness in life psychologically. He's doing theology, and again, that's not a problem, except he, throughout his entire life, would constantly say, I'm not a theologian, but he's doing it. He's doing the theology.
My God, I love it when you say throughout his entire life he was.
Yeah, past tense, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you say that quote again, the one that he was saying?
Nothing in the physical world moves from disorder to order without intelligence and energy being applied to it.
You know what? He's the opposite of that, though. He moved plenty far forward without intelligence.
It's true.
No, but like, it minimizes this fascinating and amazing thing that we have all around us that is life itself. To put it in a small box and to simplify it in such a way is insulting, for one, to me. But two, it diminishes that curiosity of the world in itself, and it just hurts me. It's one of those are the most painful things I hear people do when it comes to evangelical culture, is to simplify something so complex and give it such a stupid answer instead of really looking into it deeper. That hurts me the most.
I mean, that's one of the things that I really appreciated about our episode about creationism with Kevin, is that it's like, yeah, Kevin's very much a Christian, but it's these things that he finds the wonder of creation in. And I think that is, I have so much more respect for that as a way to approach these topics.
Kevin.
Buy the mug.
I'm so glad Kevin's my big brother.
I don't have a good segue into this, but I have another clip that I need you to watch. It's from the video Love Must Be Tough.
Some background for this clip. He's describing a pursuer-distancer relationship.
In a fight, one person wants distance and the person hates it, so neither get their needs met.
How does this one react to that? Yeah, he moved away because he needed space. Could be a man or a woman. And therefore, he moves again. And then this one's a little more desperate and begins to move farther. I tell you folks, in marriage counseling, that is the typical scene. Right there. It happens. Every marriage counselor alive has seen this. And you got the second person going. Now, this person is starting to panic. Panic leads to appeasement. If you studied World War II, this is why we did to Adolf Hitler.
World War II?
He's taking one country right after another, and we're trying to make peace with him. And Neville Chamberlain, the Prime Minister of England, is saying, peace in our time. Let's don't irritate Herr Hitler.
He's... What? Herr Hitler? What the fuck?
I'm so glad we're doing this.
We're going to talk about
tell
this.
the readers
But this
what happened.
finger's going this way, and these people push each other. And World War III and Hitler. And I'm like, oh my God.
Boyfriend's face, he's like following along. He's like a little bit skeptical. And then, what World War II, like just the shock on your face as it gets progressively crazy.
Let's tell the readers about this episode.
So readers, Brooke and I have recorded this episode already.
Yeah.
We recorded it the day that we recorded Shiny Happy People Season 2, which RIP everyone for that one. So we have to re-record it. So Brooke already knows.
So I've already heard and seen these clips and heard all this information. And
Brooke, what is it like to be on this side of the script?
Amazing. Because this episode has several jump scares. And that is the first one. And we couldn't record it again with just me because I already know everything now. And it is a joy to be in the Jake position of watching you be horrified while I know what's going to happen.
I thought I was being invited here on an intellectual topic that I could partake in, and they just wanted to point at me.
We're torturing you. Welcome to my chair.
I knew there was nothing related to bartending here today. It's just reactionary.
Oh, there's a lot related to bartending happening here today.
You won't know that you've officially made it until you're 100% dissociated.
Oh my gosh. Well, that shocked me. Congrats.
Until Jake starts talking really fast and going, there's just a little left. I swear, there's just a little bit left.
We're not there. We're on page 3.
Right.
Well.
Okay, we got this. Anyway, I just thought that was so funny.
I love you both. You're crazy.
While much of this book is boring, I think the way that he talks about sex and relationships, again, to teenagers, is really fucked up. He has laid out 12 steps on how to develop intimacy in a relationship, and he says it's very important that you do them this way, in this order. First he says bonding is a covenant that links you soul to soul, which is whatever. You start eye to body, just looking at somebody.
Oh God, this.
And then eye to eye, you make eye contact.
Oh my God.
That's cruising.
And that's all you need. And then voice to voice. Hand to hand. Hand to shoulder. Hand to waist. Face to face. Kissing. That's with first soul connection. Hand to hair. Hand to body.
Wait, are you reading stuff that he's actually wrote out?
Yes.
These are things?
These are the 12 steps to intimacy, he says. And it's very important that you do them in this order.
I'm sorry. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Face to face. Hand to hair. He has a whole anecdote about how he saw a child playing with a mother's hair in church. And he thought, if I touched that woman's hair, she would hit me.
Valid.
Hand to hair, hand to body, mouth to breast, touching below the waist, and sexual intercourse.
You know, I was going to
Mouth
make fun
to
of this
breast.
little intimacy Macarena that he has going on here. I don't think I want to write this song anymore.
I want the two of you to do it. I want you to stand up and do it.
I'm not putting my mouth to his breast on the podcast.
Yeah, bro, this is not about voyeurism today. It's a different episode.
Okay,
You might be a dom, you're not my dom.
mouth to breast.
But like, and he goes hand to body. I'm like, where?
Okay, but imagine little clammy Dobby and Shirley in the bedroom, in the blue pastel bedroom.
Dobson also advocates for playing games in relationships. He has a whole philosophy called Love Must Be Tough in the video that we referenced earlier. And the essence is that if you easily give your affection to your loved one, they will get bored of you.
Oh,
Dobson told Shirley he wanted to break up, kind of early into the relationship. Quote, although I didn't want to hurt her, I fully expected her to cry and hold on to me. Instead, Shirley said, quietly and confidently, I've been thinking the same thoughts, and I like to date other guys. Why don't we just go our separate ways for now? Her answer rocked me.
Yeah.
I walked her down and asked if I could kiss her goodbye. She said no and just went inside.
hell yeah.
Who would have believed it? What I didn't learn for many months is that Shirley went up to her room, closed the door, and cried all night. But she knew intuitively that she could not let me see her pain.
Are you kidding?
She let me go with such dignity and respect that I immediately began wondering if I had done the right thing. I had been hoping to escape gracefully, but now I questioned whether I really wanted to go. The next day, I wrote her a letter and apologized, asking to continue the relationship. Shirley waited 2 weeks to answer.
Chasing the thing that you don't want.
Right. So
That's the thing. Dobson wanted the thing that he wanted it back after he realized it wasn't his, and that it's not chasing me. Oh,
Yes.
now I'm gonna chase it.
So-
I'm like, oh,
this actually, yes, exactly. This is the thing that Dobson does. Well, he'll describe something that people do like this, and then be like, how can you do that better? Instead of, hey, maybe that's kind of fucked up, and maybe that's not a good way to build a healthy relationship, is through this, like, leave them wanting more.
that kind of mentality. I've thrown assholes out of my bar like for less, for like the way that they look at women that way. Like, ooh, it's only nice for him when she's chasing him,
Yes.
and at any other point, it's not that fascinating. So when she settles, he's like, okay, I'm done with it.
That's what he means, at least in this context, by love must be tough. You gotta make them work for it. You gotta want them. So by contrast, quote, I heard of a young man who overlooked that principle. He was determined to win the affection of a girl who refused to even see him. He decided that the way to her heart was through the mail, so he began writing her a love letter every day. When she did not respond, he increased his output to 3 notes every 24 hours. In all, he wrote her more than 700 letters. She married the postman. Ba-da-ba-ch.
Oh my god.
Or the story of a guy who harassed a woman when she wouldn't marry him. Quote, I don't think her mother likes me. She called the police. Guess I'll keep sending gifts to her as well. How could anyone be so mad? Which is a fucked up relationship. Dobson says the issue is that these men are too easy, that they're simps, as the kids say. No, the issue is that they're not respecting people's boundaries.
Yeah.
These people are clearly not interested. Let them go.
Do not send 3 letters every 24 hours
Send 4.
to, to a woman who does not want them.
Yeah,
Yes.
There's a really fun and easy old saying here. No means no.
Yes. I don't know that Dobson's ever heard that.
Can you please splice in
Dobson
the
does not like
line from the Notebook where she goes, "You wrote me?" And he goes, "I wrote you every day for a year."
Editing Jake here again. Hey, how are you doing? I have the audio pulled up from the scene from the Notebook, but in the scene, it is raining, and it is very hard to actually hear what the characters are saying, so it's not going to work for a podcast. So I'm actually just going to insert Brooke saying those lines again, and just imagine that it's Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams.
You wrote me? I wrote you every day for a year.
A masterpiece.
Dobson saying not only is it natural that people like relationships but they never feel fully settled, it's good, and that's how it should be. Quote, keep in mind that virtually every dating relationship that continues for a year or more and seems to be moving towards marriage will be given the ultimate test. A breakup will occur motivated by only one of the lovers. We've been together over 3 years. I don't think we've ever gotten anywhere close to breaking up.
Yeah, I guess we're due. I want to get, if I want this relationship to continue.
That's why I brought you on the podcast.
Mouth to breast.
Oh my gosh. I can't even get to 16th base with him, according to Dobson's montage of things.
That's 11th, I think.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, respect people's boundaries and don't be obnoxious. But also, double text them if you want. Initiate all the texts if that's cool with everyone involved.
Look, if you really want to communicate with someone, rather than like word vomiting at people, ask them about something that they want to talk about. Talk about their interests.
Thank you.
What a novel concept.
Ask a question.
It's actually about getting to know a person and not pursuing a goal.
Shocker.
What?
To quote Twitter user @BigSnugga, I was raised on silk shirt R&B, so all that incel shit never hit for me. I believe in begging for the pussy. Outside in the rain, crying, throwing up just for a sniff. That's your role as a man.
What?
Amen.
Okay, but if I ever hear you say begging for the pussy again, I'm going to have to leave the room.
I can't see that or tiggle bitties. Got it. I have a
No
list.
tiggle bitties.
No tickle bitties.
I got very upset.
I retract it. I think you can say tiggle bitties now, but you can't say begging for the pussy.
No.
The second video, at least that I watched in the video series, is called The Myth of Safe Sex. And he brings in an OBGYN to give more credibility to his claims. So, go fuck yourself, Dr. Joel McElhenney. Catch these hands.
Catch these
Catch
hands.
these hands. Catch these
Alexa,
manicured
catch
hands.
these hands.
I need to redo my nails. The video is just straight up fear-mongering. Quote, if anyone has sex outside of marriage with someone who has had sex before, they will get a sexually transmitted disease, he says.
Wrong,
Wait,
Brenda.
if you've never had sex, you're going to get an STI?
If you have sex with someone outside of marriage and they've had sex with someone else before, you're going to get an STD, he says.
Well, damn.
This video, The Myth of Safe Sex, is also just a bunch of fear-mongering about HPV, which is scary for sure. HPV is an STI that can cause cancer, especially in women and girls and anyone who has a cervix. This video was made before the HPV vaccine, which was first made available in 2006. In this video, he reads a letter from a fan with HPV who says that, among other things in her life, marriage is now out of the picture because she got HPV. Which is heartbreaking if true.
Also,
but
that's not true.
It's not true. And also, the issue that he has is not the right thing to be focused on. For when the HPV vaccine was introduced, Dobson and our friends over at Focus on the Family objected to it, saying that its availability would tell kids they are allowed to have sex. Which I think gives the game away, right? It's not about harm reduction. It's not about protecting the health of kids. It's about making kids not have sex. It's about
The fear of God.
It's about control, yeah, through fear.
That's the same culture that people attack gay people with. When PrEP was
Yes.
being introduced and stuff like that, it's the same thing. People are like, you're allowing them to be themselves now. They're now allowed to because we have vaccinations. We can no longer justify their suffering.
Yes.
But
The thing about the HPV vaccine, unless I'm wrong, is that you stay vaccinated forever, right?
It's incredibly effective.
And so it's not like, oh, here you get this so you can go have sex right now. It's like, get this vaccine so that you never have to worry about this. But they want you to stay worried about STIs in Dobson land because they want you to only be with one person.
yeah, that's what they use. That's their main tool.
Yes.
This is God's wrath that you got this.
It is fear is their primary motivator. We've been here before. I'm sure we'll be here again. It just shows up in all these different ways.
Like for anyone out there listening and stuff like that, if that's still your fear and stuff like that, talk to someone about it. Learn about these different like preventatives and don't be scared of something like this.
Also, I don't mean this in like a haha silly way. Get a vaccine while you still can.
Yeah.
That's the part that I was trying to get to.
Also,
Truly.
just because we're the #1 human sexuality podcast in the world, I want to say that you can have sex and relationships and be married with any STI.
Yes.
Any sexually transmitted disease, infection, anything. You are not worth less because of it.
It's not a moral failing. It does not speak to your worth as a human being.
Doesn't make you dirty.
Yes. Also,
That one pisses me off.
STIs are, if not curable, and many of them are, they're fully treatable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, please refer to the episode of Broad City where one of the girls says, "Oh, it's so uncool that I don't have HPV."
Oh my god.
The last video, and this is really why I want to hit our stride. The last video I watched, at least, is called Pornography. Addictive, progressive, deadly. Let's see if we as a class can figure out where things go off the rails. Listen closely, it's hard to find. We enter this video by him talking about the supposed progression of porn addiction.
It happened typically because they walk down this path and get to that point and jump the fire trail. Sex with animals, horrible stuff. Homosexual violence.
Oh, I need to pause this. Did he say homosexual?
Homosexual violence.
Violence?
Yeah. BDSM.
Oh.
Again, I don't even want to describe for you all the stuff that we had to watch, but it is now an $8 billion industry. If you go into the sex shops in New York City and Los Angeles and Houston and places like that, you don't even find this kind of stuff. People think they sell Playboy magazines and things of that nature in there. As bad as those are, that's tame. They don't even sell them. They're not even there. What you see mostly are these things. Horrible mutilations of the body and things of that nature. Now, I wish I'd have moved this whole thing over because the final stage of this is death.
It's death.
Interesting aspect of all those addictions is that when carried to their ultimate conclusion, they all lead to death. Drugs lead to death. Alcohol leads to death. You carry them to their conclusion and they lead to death. And that's the way sin is. The wages of sin is death. Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
A nice-looking guy, an intelligent man, a normal-sounding guy. In fact, if he were here and your age and just in your midst, and I asked you to look around and select the future mass murderer out of this bunch, you would not have picked Ted Bundy.
What is Ted Bundy? You would not have picked Ted Bundy. What? You're talking about extremes. You're talking about people. Oh, this is porn. This is not Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
So a couple
homosexual
things.
violence equals death equals Ted Bundy?
Yes. A couple, famously homosexual.
Okay.
A couple things to note
Had to
here.
mention that one.
One, you cannot get addicted to porn. You can have problematic porn use, which is fair, and that's a real thing some people struggle with. It's not an addiction, and it matters not to the layperson, but clinically, and he, technically at least, is a clinician, so he should know these things. Did you know that he interviewed Ted Bundy? Did you know that he interviewed Ted
No,
Bundy?
I have never heard that before. That's the very first time I have ever heard this information.
I think that he's got a plaque of that over his fireplace. I interviewed Ted Bundy.
He had a plaque.
Right.
In grad school, I had like 3 jobs because I was poor and I made the terrible decision to go to a school for psychology. One of the jobs I had is I worked at a sex store. I worked at a Hustler Hollywood. One of the stores that, similar to what James Dobson described, I'm sure, we did not sell anything like that. Honestly, it was just mostly really cheap lingerie marked up at like 200% and an assortment of dildos.
We went in there once, me and you together, right?
Mm-hmm.
The place was not great.
Also, sex stores are amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
I would like to plug some sex stores that are like in our city of Chicago,
Go for it.
right? Well, just one. There's Early to Bed in
Early Bed's
Andersonville.
really good.
And it's like the best. You go in, it's friendly, brightly lit. They are there to educate you
They're
and help you.
professional. And
They are professional. There is no embarrassing question. It's not like seedy and dark. It's like, I am here to buy a thing tell me what you got, right?
Absolutely.
It's not always this thing. But I love the way that Dobson's like, I had to watch hours and hours and hours of
How
pornography.
painful.
You
What a
wouldn't
horrible
believe
job.
what I saw. Mouth to breast.
Oh my god, mouth to breast.
The issue is that they did it in the wrong order.
Breast to mouth.
Come here.
Boyfriend, what do you think about the casual Ted Bundy name drop there?
It's another just left curveball and say I was a little flabbergasted. I didn't quite know how to react because I think you once again we were at home and I remember you going through these and just having these faces and emotions and you're like, I need to talk to you about something. I'm like, yes, please talk to me. I remember you mentioning this, but I was so concerned in you at the point that I was kind of like focused on you. And I remember hearing that clip, like parts of it, but I didn't actually like take it in. So this time now around, I'm actually listening. And I was before, but like I'm actually taking it in. I know that he's super proud of knowing Ted Bundy, but to relate it to porn, going from porn to death to Ted Bundy.
Well, do you remember why?
Huh?
Do you know why?
Do you know why he's equating porn and Ted Bundy?
Equating the two at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
It's truly mostly bragging rights, but
Dobson's whole thing is that Ted Bundy became Ted Bundy because he was a porn addict.
yeah.
Okay, that part I forgot. I think I do remember someone saying. I just know that he's so proud that Ted Bundy wanted to talk to just him, and he had to tell everyone in the press. I'm rehashing old content. That y'all
we're going to talk about it too.
That's because he wanted to use it for his cause, right?
Of course,
I mean,
yeah. You know,
if
like
Ted
killing a
Bundy
basketball
hadn't
player.
been a porn addict, he would have been a very upstanding young man.
Very good Christian boy.
apparently.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, is that where this all falls into? For
Yes.
the most part? That's stupid.
So I have a couple more clips for us to play here. First, here's how Dobson describes Ted Bundy. This is, again, how he's introducing it to a room of teenagers.
Yeah, I was saying, aren't these all like college kids and
No,
stuff?
not
They're
even
high
college
schoolers?
kids. Yes.
I don't know if this is something that. Oh my god, they're so worried.
You sound like me.
Isn't it so much fun?
I'm so like old and seasoned now. Like, this is nothing, kid.
You've graduated. You're now Jake as well.
So I put two clips together in this, but they're going to watch or listen to or whatever. He in between these two, he goes into graphic detail about Ted Bundy's murders. And
He does?
yes, I don't want to subject you to it. I don't think it's worthwhile, but go for
Or
it.
do you want me to go into this?
Play the full clip.
Okay.
Ted Bundy was a nice-looking guy, an intelligent man, a normal-sounding guy. In fact, if he were here and your age and just in your midst, and I asked you to look around and select the future mass murderer out of this bunch, you would not have picked Ted Bundy. He looked like Joe College. He sounded intelligent. He was a law student at times. He was so clever at it that literally he could have gone on doing this almost indefinitely. He was caught on a fluke. They happened to pull him over for speeding, and they found something in his car that was suspicious, and that's how they caught him. Or he could have gone on.
The thing that like really bothers me is how much he hypes up Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
He's like, he was so clever. He was so smart. He would never have been caught if it
A
wasn't
lawyer at times.
Yeah, at times.
Joe College.
Who did he compare him to?
Joe College, just like a generic person.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Okay.
It's not
like, it's a way of saying like,
the everyman.
Joe Schmo.
Yeah. Ted Bundy was not that smart. He was sociopathic, and that gives you a certain type of intelligence, I suppose. He wasn't that smart. He had already been arrested and in jail before.
he jumped out.
He jumped out of a window to get out of jail.
That's
Like
he
he's-
jumped out the window.
He's slippery.
Yeah.
Sure. He's shapeshifty. He's not smart. He's not clever. And Dobson describing him as such, I find like personally reprehensible. This is how Dobson describes his interview, and boyfriend, this is what you were talking about before. Again, listen to what he says and what he emphasizes.
Trying to ground myself. I'm worried. All right, I'm gonna hit play.
And I believe Ted found the Lord. 2 years before he died, John Tanner called me on behalf of Ted. And he said, the Lord is talking to Ted, and he feels that he needs to admit his crimes. He needs to give information that will allow the parents and the families of the girls he murdered to know what happened to them. And he needs to confess what caused him, he thinks, to do this. And he knows the press will not allow him to get that message out because they obviously hated him, and perhaps for good reason. They said he wants to release that information through you. So a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, the telephone rang. John Tanner was on the phone. He said the way has been cleared for the execution of Ted Bundy. He only has 6 more days to live. He wants you to come to Florida. Now, I flew down to Florida immediately. I got there just 2 days before he was to be executed. And you talk about one wild scene. It was a circus. There were 300 members of the press across the street from the prison. There were 1,000 people or more with signs, and none of those members of the press could get an interview with Ted because he wouldn't talk to them. Now, here they are, the eyes and ears of the world, and they're there to interview Ted Bundy or to get a story, and he won't talk to them. The prison wouldn't talk to him, and they hear that this guy's coming in from California that has a private interview with him. I arrived and was ushered to the prison, and I went through one of the strangest, most bizarre experiences of my life. I went through 7 steel doors to get to him. I went through metal detectors that were so sensitive that I had to take my shoes off because it would react to the pins in the heel of my shoes. Tie-tack, any metal whatsoever. They finally took me into this inner chamber, and then they brought Ted in. They took him in a little room and strip-searched him before he could even talk to me.
I don't know how exactly to react to this kind of information. Like, the way you said this before, he's bragging about this.
Yes!
He's so proud of this.
He's saying, look how big, bad, scary this guy is because of porn. And look how special I am that he chose me.
He wouldn't talk to anyone but me.
Look at all the crowds outside who are so jealous. All these other reporters, but it was lonely old.
But also, he chose to turn to the Lord, and that's why I came into play. I'm the fix here. I'm the Band-Aid.
Also, maybe he does realize, but it seems like he doesn't realize that he is being 100% duped by a master manipulator.
Yeah, that was what I asked you earlier. Was he again a sociopath?
Ted Bundy liked to torture people, right? And one final way to do that is to say, all right, I don't mind that I'm going to die. I found Jesus. I'm going to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take that, right?
Yeah.
And he's only going to talk to this dodo because he's not going to question him or challenge him in any way.
He looks like a dodo.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
He does, but a dodo with qualifications. He, lest we forget, has a PhD. He is a doctor. Dobson, after this, goes on to play 11 straight minutes of his interview with Ted Bundy. 2 teenagers. I was a guest on the fabulous podcast, The Worst of All Possible Worlds, about a year ago, to break down the entire Ted Bundy interview. It comes up quite a bit. We might get into it at our show at some point. But in this interview, not once does Dobson push back on any part of Bundy's story. Bundy said he had a normal, healthy childhood until he found porn, and he lived a normal life otherwise, but then compartmentalized his worsening porn addiction until he just had to kill people. Ted Bundy is a liar. He is a narcissist who will say anything to anyone to get his goal, which is what made him a dangerous killer. That's not smart. Clearly. It's just this inherent knowing of how to manipulate people because you don't have ethics. Editing Jake here once more. I don't think that I really articulated my point in this conversation, and so let me try here one more time. Ted Bundy wasn't smart or cunning. He just took advantage of people's expectations. I think of a Penn and Teller video I've seen where they say magic works because it's stupid. It is the easiest thing in the world to think, how can I make James Dobson believe me? I know. Say I found God and that porn is what ruined my life. I don't think that most people would have it in them to keep up the bit in the same way, but that's not intelligence. That's just buying your own bullshit. That's narcissism. And the reason that I'm so stuck on this point is that by saying how smart and how clever he is, Dobson is praising Ted Bundy. He's actively rehabilitating Bundy's image instead of showing him for what he was.
A 2-bit, insecure, stupid man who needed to trick vulnerable people, women and girls, to make himself feel powerful. Ted Bundy wasn't a mastermind. Ted Bundy was a fucking loser.
Clearly, he did his research on Dobson before talking to him.
Yes.
Right. That's what I was going to say. The other thing here is that, of course, you're going to choose the person who's going to hype you up and believe you because you are proving their case, right?
Yep.
He didn't bring in someone that was going to challenge him or question him.
That stupid golden ticket that Dobson needed to solidify everything he was saying.
Yes.
The crazy mass murderer affirming everything I've ever said. Oh my God. On TV.
The fact that Dobson interviewed Ted Bundy
pants.
Came up a number of times in various obituaries about Dobson. It is one of the defining times of his life. I do not blame any of Ted Bundy's victims for falling prey to his traps.
No.
Honestly, I don't even blame media people who might have fallen prey to some of it later on. He is manipulative. I do blame James Dobson for falling for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, we all know that Ted Bundy is a serial liar and a serial killer. Dobson has a fucking PhD in psychology. He should know better than most people about the psychopathology of narcissism.
Had a PhD in psychology.
It's true. But here he sees a prime opportunity to advance his own cause and his name, and he takes it. I don't know if he's so egotistical he doesn't care, or so dumb he doesn't know better. It's probably both.
And Ted Bundy knew all of that.
Yes.
And said to himself, okay, I'm going to die, but this guy is going to be defending me for the rest of his life.
Yes, and at this point, Dobson is a moral authority. Mm-hmm. He, as much as he claims I'm not a theologian, he is the family guy, the family values, the one who's going to get America right on track. What a better ally to have to rehabilitate your name than this fucker.
Right.
He's telling a room of teenagers, a Ted Bundy could be here among us right now, just waiting for the right person to turn on the serial killer part of their brain. This interview is also transcribed in the book. And then in the book, in the following 2 chapters, he talks about being gay 13 different times. The parts about being gay, there's a whole Q&A in that. Not a single question about gay people is asked in the video series. So those were questions he just made up.
Mm-hmm.
In part 4, where this leads politically. You can't just say, watching porn will turn some of you into serial killers, and then have the only takeaway lesson be, so don't watch porn. If that is true, and I cannot emphasize it is not true, but if it were true, we would need to do something about it.
Like we do things about guns.
What would we need to do? Well, how about some kind of law to help keep kids safe online?
Oh, shit.
On October 26, 2023, the United Kingdom's Parliament passed the Online Safety Act of 2023.
Started on this.
It gave their Secretary of State the power to suppress any online material that is illegal or, quote, deemed harmful to children.
Mm-hmm.
Protect the kids, you see. Who could be against that? On July 25th, 2025, one of the provisions of this act went into effect, saying that companies had a duty to protect kids and must introduce safety measures to protect kids from harmful content. Which, again, that seems good. It's not. Spoilers. How do you make sure that only adults are seeing adult content? Just saying, you promised you're 18, right, doesn't cut it. How about uploading your government ID to Pornhub and then letting it scan your face using facial recognition software? That seems like a good idea that can't possibly lead anywhere bad.
I second this.
After all, I'm sure the government would be really constrained in its application of these laws. And very quickly, it did not just stay limited to porn sites. On July 30th, 2025, Spotify began requiring users to verify that they were over 18.
In the UK specifically.
If they cannot verify your age through facial ID scans or uploads, your Spotify account will be deleted. Spotify says, quote, you cannot use Spotify if you do not meet the minimum age requirements for the market you are in. If you cannot confirm that you're old enough to use Spotify, your account will be deactivated and eventually deleted. Now, they claim it's only for music videos deemed 18 plus, which, sure, maybe for now, I guess. To be clear, this is government censorship.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, porn doesn't do anything because porn isn't just one thing. What counts as porn? This is a discussion that we've had before as well. Again, as we've said, I have many critiques of the porn industry. It is problematic as fuck. I talked about it at the end of our Purity Culture series. But porn didn't cause Ted Bundy. And not all porn is problematic. I know plenty of gay guys who film their sex and upload it to OnlyFans. No one is being coerced. No one's being exploited. People are being paid fairly, as defined by them. You don't have to watch it or like it, but it is undeniable that it is quantifiably different than sleazy predators like Max Hardcore, who's a pornographer who's most famous for going to the Supreme Court, who was super abusive.
Oof.
But where do we draw the line on what counts as porn? As we have discussed in a period culture series, what counts as sex is subjective. What counts as obscene is subjective. Put a pin in that. Mark it off in your bingo card, yeah. But the issue of porn aside, this law doesn't just bar kids from viewing porn online. It targets, quote, anything deemed harmful to children. News videos of police violence could very well fall under that definition. Reporting from pro-Palestine protests, or footage from on the ground of the genocide in Gaza. If we've learned anything from our time reading the works of James Dobson, you can spin anything into a moral panic about saving the kids. But Jake, you say, that's the UK. Why do I care? I'm a red-blooded American, not some faggy Brit.
Oh my God.
Quick shout out to our listeners in the UK. We love you very much. But beyond the you should care because empathy, the US is not that far behind. The last few years, there has been a piece of legislation trying to worm its way through Congress called the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA. And it does many of the same things that the UK Online Safety Act of 2023 does. Here we return to that problematic phase, anything, quote, deemed harmful to children. In 2022, the Heritage Foundation, a right-wing think tank, criticized KOSA. Do you know the Heritage Foundation, boyfriend?
Yes.
What do you know them for? They wrote Project 2025.
I forgot about that.
Their criticism of KOSA was that it did not explicitly list transgender healthcare as a form of harm for kids. The very last clip here is not from Dobson.
What do you think is the top issue that they should be watching and the top issue that conservatives should be taking action on right now?
Well, there are a couple of things. Of course, protecting minor children from the transgender and this culture and that influence. And I would add to that, watching what's happening on social media. And I've got the Kids Online Safety Act that I think we're going to end up getting through probably this summer. This would put a duty of care and responsibility on the social media platforms. And this is where children are being indoctrinated. They're hearing things at school, and then they're getting onto YouTube to watch a video, and all of a sudden this comes to them. And they're on Snapchat or they're on Instagram, and they click on something, and the next thing you know, they're being inundated with it. Parents need to be watching this, teachers need to be watching, and protecting our children and making certain that they are not exposed to things that they are emotionally not mature enough to handle.
That is Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. We have 100 senators. This is one senator, one of the most powerful people on earth. She's shown in this video being interviewed by the Family Policy Alliance, saying that there should be a priority protecting minor children from the transgender in the culture.
From the transgender. That's what shocked me. I mean, that's when my face went like, ooh.
And that KOSA would specifically, quote, put a duty of care and responsibility on social media platforms. And this is where children are being indoctrinated. This is bad and fucked up for lots of reasons. Being trans is not inherently a sexual thing. Kids knowing that trans people exist is not going to traumatize them. Boyfriend, do you know this? Do you know why there's the connection that conservatives make the connection between trans and sex?
They want to have sex with trans people?
Well, there's that. That's a big part of it. Also, a lot of them have watched sissy hypno videos.
Oh, this I think is, actually no. That's not shocking to me at all, actually.
What are sissy hypno videos?
It's hypno porn, where there's like a spiral person being like, you're getting very sleepy, about becoming feminine, becoming a trans woman.
Wear sleek, sheer stockings.
Oh, I got it.
And they think that's why people are trans.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That's trans culture. Don't you know this?
God.
Also, the Family Policy Alliance, the bitch who is interviewing Marsha Blackburn, they were founded under a different name. Focus on the Family Action.
Really?
Yes, that is the political lobbying arm of Focus on the Family, who put out this video as an endorsement of KOSA.
Wow.
They're called FOTFA.
Importantly, this is not a Republican-only bill either. Joe Biden endorsed it when he was president.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but like all of this is weird. Dobson had influence in the UK, sure, but I wouldn't describe their government as overrun with evangelicals. They have their own problems. Joe Biden sucks, but he wasn't necessarily in the pocket of James Dobson. I think there's 3 things at play here. One is the power of the euphemism. It's keeping kids safe online, and the internet is a dangerous place. I agree, we need more guardrails. This just isn't it. 2, Dobson and evangelicals are really good at controlling the conversation. Whether through political influence, euphemism, or force, it is nearly impossible to do anything politically in the United States if you don't have the buy-in of at least some white evangelicals. And 3, the goals of theocratic fascism, like James Dobson, have a significant overlap with the goals of more secular fascists, like Trump or Musk or Mark Zuckerberg. If COSA passes, Dobson would have gotten to claim a victory by purging those filthy transgenders offline. Trump and big tech will get to vastly increase their surveillance on people. All the people in power get more control, and that's what it's really about. I think an under-discussed part of how James Dobson took over the culture is how the evangelical fascism has merged with techno-fascism, right? Mark Zuckerberg doesn't give a fuck about Jesus, but he wants control. He wants all the money. Elon Musk is not a Christian, but he wants all your money.
Give me my money. Yay.
A final tangent. How could we actually help people, right? We agree that the internet is a terrible place and that kids are exposed to all sorts of shit they should not be exposed to online. What do we do about it? I don't know. I'm a therapist. I have a master's degree in feelings. I'm also a podcaster. We need no qualifications to do this shit. I do think some of the provisions in these bills are good. I do think Instagram, Meta, Facebook needs to face consequences for its decision to knowingly push material to teens that pushes them towards disordered eating and other types of self-harm. Recently, a report came out that Facebook had allowed their AI chatbots to have sensual conversations with children. That's bad. Something should be done about that. I agree. Seeing boobs as a kid will not turn you into Ted Bundy. And I don't think that kids should have to watch hardcore pornography either. Exposure to sexuality before one is ready can be damaging, although by no means insurmountable or turn you into a serial killer. It's about regulating big tech, not surveilling citizens, right? We need to change laws to crack down on big tech, not on people. It's not the government's job to keep your kids safe, though. It's yours. And parents need to be more aware of what their kids are doing online. And the combination of those 2 things. Imagine, and boyfriend, you brought this up a couple different times. Imagine if Dobson had even a fraction of the energy that he has towards banning porn, towards banning guns, which actually do kill kids.
Yeah.
It would be a whole different world right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I think generally this speaks to the need of a general realignment of values. Sex and porn aren't unquestioned good things, but there's something that's so fucked about a culture that makes access to a Just for Fans page so much harder while trying to eliminate any barriers to access guns.
It's about money.
Yes.
That's based. Sorry, not to be like dry.
No, it's a lot of it is that. I don't think Dobson was doing it just for the money. I think he was doing it for the ego, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel Dobson at his base was doing it for a power trip, just period.
Yes. But
it was affirming to everything that they have ever wanted, and that is control.
A power trip guised as morality. He got to lie to himself to say, I'm making the world a better place. Mm-hmm. And I just happened to be ruling it.
That's what this whole entire thing is. Mm-hmm. The umbrella of protection, right? It's a power trip guised as morality. Guised? That's not a word.
No, yeah,
that's a word. Oh, that's a good word.
God, I'm so smart.
You also have a master's degree.
Yeah.
It's the tequila.
I was about to say, no, I don't. Maybe I do.
We've talked about this before, but the way that evangelicalism uses especially teenagers, but kids generally, to do their dirty work, from exploiting their physical labor to using them as scapegoats for unprecedented surveillance, evangelicalism will do everything except actually help kids. This is the same movement that's actively repealing child labor laws in the United States, for instance.
I keep forgetting that exists.
Well, they won't exist for long. God. To evangelicals, I mean this as a political movement. Children are disposable. They are objects. God forbid they're gay or trans. Oh my God. Fascism, including and especially the fascism stemming from white evangelicalism, is one built on dehumanization. Yes, dehumanizing their enemies. Gay people are groomers. Secular culture is raping virgins on the sidewalk, as they said in Teen Mania.
Oh, good times.
But also dehumanizing themselves. Don't trust your feelings. Don't think about physical pleasure. Limit yourself emotionally. Work. Produce. Make the line of profits go up no matter the costs. There are many villains in these stories. But of course, to me, James Dobson is up there in the S tier of villains. One of the most influential, one of the worst. The premise of the show was to track Dobson's influence in our culture, and even I am shocked sometimes at how omnipresent he is. I hate James Dobson.
I hated James Dobson when he was alive on this earth. And I continue to hate him now as he haunts us.
In the trauma. I hate James Dobson.
Great.
Doesn't need more complicated than that.
How did you like your first experience in the podcast?
It was kind of funny. I had a good time with this.
Well, it's not over yet.
No?
Well, it's over for us today, readers. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll see you in about 10 minutes when we do the next episode. Gosh. I Hate James Dobson is a labor of love, of spite. Written, recorded, edited, and produced by me, Jake. In this venture, I am honored to be joined by my amazing co-host, Brooke. If you're enjoying the show, please consider rating and reviewing it. And if you want to connect with us more, you can find us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube at I Hate James Dobson, and somehow still on Twitter at IHateJDobs. You can also email us at IHateJamesDobson@gmail.com. We have merch available at IHateJamesDobson.printful.me or on our website, IHateJamesDobson.com. Our theme music is by Mood Maze and the song is called Trendsetter. Special thanks, as always, to Drew, Lindsay, DJ, Jack, and Gary. And thank you, readers, for enjoying our show.
Did you hear somebody say that they were going to celebrate Dobson dying? They were going to go love one out.
I did.
It made me laugh so hard.